So today we got a 744k big old John Deere. We're at the shop. I didn't record because I'm dumb, but we split the machine, which was a process and a half. I got the old center bushing cut out, but got the old Supercombinata set up on the center pin. 3 bearings ready to go, but I'm gonna start cutting. This is the only hole that needs redone. Pin was shot, lower bushing was shot. All this up here is brand new. That hole nice and good. Pulled the cab off, split the machine. Now we're just getting ready to cut. So without further ado, let's get to it. I am pulling the boring bar out. I'm going to set up the welding lance. That way we can weld the hole. Alright, so we got the welding lance set up in there, and now we're just feeding it down, getting it ready so you have as much stroke as possible to get the welding lance all the way in there and weld a good pass over it. So right now we're feeding the lance down, and we're gonna set it up and let her weld. So, phone died yesterday, but we're all welded up. I got the boring bar back in there. Gonna measure the new pin, get my tool height, and then we're gonna go ahead and set this up to cut. Alright, so we got our pin all measured. Stepped pin. This fine shit's in the upper hole, which we're working on, and this sits in the lower hole, which is a bushing. So this is 4 inches, this is 3.541. So for our boring setup, that's the math. You divide the number by 2, and then you minus 0.786, and it gives your tool height off of the face of the bar. So now that we got this all figured out, we're gonna set up again. Get our cutting tool set about 30 thou under finished dimension. That's our cutting tool, just a brazed carbide. I sharpen these all up. Nice. Nice. Alright, so the next step is to set up the snap gauge and use that to measure the hole as it lies with the tooling in the position it's in order to figure out how much we need to advance. Okay. So this is a snap gauge. Put it through the bore bar. Snap it. Lock it. Trim and measure. Mic. So it's 941 thousandths. So that's 600 thousandths. 6/10 of an inch still needs to come off. So not 6/10 of an inch. I'm an idiot. That's where mental math is, right? Left with. You got to enjoy watching my brain struggle to work simple numbers. Found it. So I didn't record that last part, but I just increased this 6 thousandths because it was still under. Measured the hole, it was 3.988 and it needs to be 4.0. So it's a 12 thousandths increase. Split that in half, it's 6 thousandths total. So got this at 6 thousandths and we're gonna go ahead and cut. Grabbing our snap gauge again. So we are at 4.001. So now these I'm about to use my chamfer bit. Oh, let's get its focus. Basically just a 45-degree angle on one of them brazed carbide tools. It's an AL6, AR6, left and right hand. And yeah, sharpened at a 45-degree angle to put chamfer on. Go grab a right hand tool and a right hand chamfer and clean the bottom edge up. Same thing, just right hand. Alright, the hole is done. Chamfered. That one's all done. Still waiting on the bushing for that, bearing for that. So that's where we left off, but the steering eyes were both bad. So I set up on them yesterday. And now we're ready to machine this tiny hole through it to then weld it. Alright, so hole number 1 is done. It's very windy out, so it's a bit of the pain in the ass to weld right now. All right, so we're all welded up. Both holes. So clean it up a little bit all the way down, just to make it nice, round, and then we'll get our tool height, and we'll go from there. So that was our second to last pass. Got our tool height figured out, 189 thousandths. tight. Got to tap it in. Really light. Ain't gonna go nowhere. You gotta clean this off. And these ones, of course. Getting the other side done. Alrighty. So we are all done. It's all painted, broken down. Everything's nicey nice. Got that new bearing in there. Still waiting on parts for this. But this is all done. That one's all done. That's done. Lever bushing is done. Everything up there is changed. And got everything that still needs put back together. But all the machining is done. Both steering pin holes. Nice tight fit. That's just the pin turning in there. Nice. So there we go. This one is done. Ain't that right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But you know what is right?
What is right?
S'mores Pop-Tarts.
S'mores Pop-Tarts. They are correct.
No.
Oh yeah? That's good. Alrighty. So we're all pinned back up. Machine's back together. And just doing the final touches now. Hydraulic lines, drive shaft, cab's back on. Let me zoom out for you. Cab's back on. Everything's all connected. So just putting some hydraulic lines on and bolting the rest of the stuff down. Gotta get the steering pins in there. We're all good. So that's that. Took about 4 hours to get the machine back together. And it's not even back together yet, but it's back together, if you know what I mean. So, thanks for tuning in. Ain't that right, Jimmy?